Hi, everyone. Welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Sunday, August 14th, 2022. And tonight I wanted to take a peek at a Hollywood legend, a someone that I think we can still, even with a lot of our being awake disillusionment with Hollywood, that I think we can still admire and maybe look forward to future projects from. Let me share something, okay? In 2006, Mel Gibson was blacklisted in Hollywood for some of this following information. This isn't the original. I found this on eraoflight.com, and I'm not recommending the site for everything. I'm just telling you that I found this here. And some of his quotes, and I'll have to change a few words, are, "They are using and abusing little ones. They chum through a huge amount of little ones every year. Their spiritual beliefs, if you can call them that, direct them to harvest the energy of the little ones. They feast on this stuff and they thrive on it," the Hacksaw Ridge director said. This is in a 2020 interview. What do I mean? This isn't some sort of artistic abstraction. They harvest the blood of little ones. They eat their flesh. They believe this gives them life force. If the child, little one, was suffering in body and psyche before it died, they believe this gives them extra life force. There is a creative and loving force inside most of us that guides us through life. These people don't have this. For them, it's the opposite. Okay, so he was speaking about the Hollywood industry, the dark underbelly of it. And for being honest, he was blackballed. Luckily, it came when he had enough success in his career that he could say, okay, fine, do it. Well, it seems that Mr. Gibson is trying to start another project, and he could use a lot of positive intention in it, apparently. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Hang on. So on roserambles.org, which I've mentioned before as a nice site that combines a lot of things that are of spiritual interest as well as some current events, that attacks on Mel Gibson for the Rothschild movie. He's apparently trying to make a movie about the Rothschilds. Mel Gibson has decided to hit the heart of Zionism and the global agenda of the New World Order, directing a film about the Rothschild family, a family of bankers that created the Zionist movement, the State of Israel, and controls the banking sector and global organizations for 200 years, creating debt money, so-called fiat money, or anyway, fiat money. These Jewish bankers have indebted the entire world through organizations like, and it lists some, and every single mention of the Rothschild family brings storms of anti-Semitism, accusations, and propagation of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Media around the world has already declared war on this filmmaker and wants to stop not only the production of the film, but punish Mr. Gibson himself. And then it ends with, by the way, Gibson, you're great. I tend to agree. And we've talked about how powerful our thoughts are and our intentions. And just no matter what we get from the tarot reading in a minute about Mr. Gibson, I would like to encourage all of you to just send him high vibration. Just picture his movie getting completed in a way that he's proud of and wants to put out there. And and just remember, hey, Rothschilds, you're just middle management. It's not like he's doing it on the Pacers or someone above them. Okay, let's keep it in perspective, people. Okay, so I want to ask the cards tonight about Mr. Gibson, and I'm going to try to set my ego out of the way, even though, like I said, I have a positive feeling about him. And I feel like continuing to admire him and what he's been willing to stand up for and about is justified and valid. But let's see what the universe has to say. So, universe, what do you want us to know and inform us about Mel Gibson, the person seen in the public eye as Mel Gibson, his upcoming project, and just information in general? Let's see what the cards have to say. Our first card is King of Swords. 4 of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. 4 of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. King of Pentacles. We'll talk about those cards. So the universe was consulted about Mr. Gibson and this project he is trying to get off the ground with a movie about the Rothschilds. And I love that he's signified by the King of Swords. The King of Swords is very savvy about legal and contractual matters. Swords, again, are the spoken and written word, and he's certainly working with words with his script and the project that he's taking on. He's done so carefully. The 4 of Pentacles indicates that you're careful with your resources. So he stepped out at this time and in this place to do this project. It was well thought out, well thought out. Now, in the past, he's been the subject of some deceit and dealt with it fairly admirably. The Knight of Cups can be kind of tricky, and he does false promises and fraud. So I think Mr. Gibson had to sift through a number of projects till he found one that spoke to his heart going forward with this. And he's learned to use his discernment, like I tell all of us we need to do. Okay. Now look at the present. This is a fabulous card for the project and for him both. The 4 of Wands is about celebrating and love and partnership and beginnings. And so, yeah, it's looking good for this project, despite, you know, the MSM push that'll be to villainize him and his project. It looks like it's going to go great. Look at this. We have the Ace of Pentacles. It's going to be a creative success. So if you have a little money to invest in projects and he's looking for some financing, hey, I would jump on this in a heartbeat. Of course, the teacher's pension doesn't go into that kind of investment money. But anyway, yeah, it looks, and look, we've got the Ace of Swords or Ace of Wands here. So the Ace of Wands is just absolutely fabulous. It's about potential, new beginnings, creative success, and this is a creative endeavor we were asking about. So yes, it's going to be a huge success. Yes, it's going to get done. And the King of Pentacles shows up just as some lesser advice. You know, after this one, it gets less and less impactful what we pull and see. So the King of Pentacles is about ambition, and he's a faithful provider. And again, success, we got success, 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 success showing up here. So this is the time. There is enough people awake. The fiat dollar is drying up. So the resources that entities or families or whatever, like the Rothschilds at one point might have had to come crushing down on a project like this and squelch it, are gone. So now is the time. Let's see if there's a couple other. We have the 9 of Pentacles, beautiful energy. And again, Pentacles are about earthly matters, money and what have you, just kind of bolstering this whole success theme I'm seeing here. And the Hanged Man, and he's about looking at things in a new way. And this movie is going to help red pill some people. It's going to help. And so I'm glad he's doing it. I'm glad he's doing it. And like I said, you know, to the Rothschilds, you can tell them I said this. Hey, you know, at least we're not talking about your bosses. It's only you guys. And, you know, if you haven't figured it out, you guys are always going to be on the hook for a lot of blame anyway, because the farther up the chain you go, the less the blame seems to land. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's send Mr. Gibson some great, powerful, positive thoughts to have the best of success with this project. It will be good to, after several years, an utter disillusionment with the Hollywood establishment. And the more you wake up, you know what I'm talking about. It'd be nice to finally have a movie I could look forward to watching. Thank you. Good night.